Hi, I'm Cameron, and I don't just read comics, I love them. On today's episode of Cameron Reads Comics, I'm just going to be showing you the major haul I got of books within the months of February and March of 2021. So stay tuned and let's go over some books. The first book in my haul is Blackbird by Sam Humphries. This is the trade paperback, volume 1. I've been watching a lot of interviews with Sam Humphries, and I just decided that I think that this is what I want to read. They say never judge a book by its cover, but after seeing this cover, I know that this is definitely a book I want to try out. The next book I got was Swamp Thing by Brian K. Vaughn, Volume 1. This book's actually been out of print for a long time, but if you know me, if you followed the podcast, you know I am a huge Brian K. Vaughn fan, so his take on one of the best indie Vertigo comic creations, this is a must read. You know, I don't even know what it's about. I know it's about Swamp Thing, I know it's about Brian K. Vaughn. For me, that is enough for me to want to pick up this book. So I'm so glad I got this. It's out of print, and I got it in my used bin at my local comic shop. Go check out those used bins. I actually picked up another book that I always wanted, one of my favorite covers of all time, Captain Marvel, Volume 1, Earth's Mightiest Hero. This is the beginning of the Kelly Sue DeConnick Captain Marvel run, where I really think that Carol Danvers comes into full form. Every modern interpretation, I'd say, of the character now, everything you're going to see in the MCU is based off this run on the character by the infamous Kelly Sue DeConnick. Obviously, we have the Rosie the Riveter cover influence right there, so I'm really excited about this one. I'm ready to go read it. I'm looking forward to it. The next book I got was actually just in time for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It is Ed Brubaker's Winter Soldier Complete Collection. This is going to be a book I'm really excited to read, especially when I look at the artists they have on. This Michael Lark is actually one of my favorites. So to be able to see this and to be able to read it, I'm very, very, very much looking forward to it. The Ed Brubaker Captain America run obviously sealed the deal with the Winter Soldier in his creation, but also one of the best Marvel runs of all time. So to be able to get this spin-off book on a character that he created and some of those solo adventures, I'm really excited to read it. Okay, now the next book I got was a book that I kind of hesitated on reading for a long time, but once I kind of just dove in on the issues on the DC Universe app, I realized that I really like the series and I wanted it collected, so I picked up Volume 1 of Scott Snyder's Justice League. I think that in every way, this is very much a spiritual successor to the Justice League animated series. And so if that's your jam, if you love that team, look no further because this is the team. It's Jon Stewart, Green Lantern, Shayera Hall, Hawk Girl, Wonder Woman. It's Barry Allen as the Flash and not Wally West, but I think we can be okay with that. Martian Manhunter, Batman, Superman, the heavy hitters, and they are going against the Injustice League or the Legion of Doom, whatever you prefer their title. I think in this book it's Legion of Doom. I'm still reading it. I just started, but this is an awesome book, and I really think that people should pick it up. So I'm reading it right now, and I'm loving it, and especially for the Jorge Jimenez art. It's beautiful. He's perfect. I love you, Jorge. If you're watching this, thank you. Now, for the next books, I actually have a new announcement about what's been going on in my life lately, and that is I recently kind of got a side gig at my local comic shop. So they asked me if I wanted to start working for product, and my answer is absolutely. That's one less thing to spend money on, and if you can get the hobby to pay for itself, take that step. So this is the best example I have of that in my life. So I started working there on just once a week. But they gave me a stipend for books, and so a lot of the hauls now I have are probably going to be influenced by that. And so the next two books are actually, the rest of the books are part of that haul. First and foremost, we have Immortal Hulk Volume 1 by Al Ewing. This is one of the best Marvel comics coming out right now, and I'm not the only one who feels this way. I knew this hardcover got released a couple years ago, actually, and I knew that I wanted it. So I've been reading this run. I probably read the first 30 issues and I just kind of fell off. I'm just probably going to be reading them now in these collected editions, but they're so good. I'm so excited to read this. Look, Alex Ross is on the covers of these books and they are so freaking beautiful. But for anyone who considers themselves a Hulk fan, this is a necessary reading. And if you want to be a Hulk fan, I'm not a huge Hulk guy, but I'm trying to understand the character, you can hop right on in this, and it is really, really, really great. So I've read everything collected in this, but I definitely, once the series probably finishes, I'm going to be doing a reread. This is great. I'm so glad to have it in my collection now. Now, for the next one, this is a character I never thought I'd read, but I have recently just fell in love with him based on this run. It is Donnie Cates' Venom. This is volume 1. I think that Venom is one of the most interesting characters. I've always wanted to like him, but I just feel like there's so much stuff going on in his world and his wheelhouse. So to see this one, to pick this up, and again, if you want to understand Venom, you want a new take, you just want to hop in, it's Eddie Brock, look no further than this series. And honestly, it is currently in the midst of King in Black, which is one of my favorite right now event books in Marvel. This is some of the early Donnie Cates stuff. If you want to know about Null, if you want to know about any of that stuff going on, make sure to go read this. It's really, really good. And this hardcover is just beautiful. Oh my gosh. So I'm so excited to have it. I'm so glad that I was able to pick this up because, again, I think right now in current Marvel, this is necessary reading. And so go check it out. Okay, and the last 2 books in my haul are a set. It's volumes 1 and 2. And when I saw this, I knew I needed it because this is the format that I'd want this in. I guess I didn't realize, but it's a big Marvel haul for me this week. That's not to say I didn't have any DC books, but it was just a little light on the DC stuff. This one is X-Men, Astonishing X-Men by Joss Whedon, volumes 1 and 2. These are the hardcovers. And so I already have these in trade paperback form, but when offered these hardcovers, I knew that I'd want to pick them up because I think the X-Men are some of the most intimidating characters in comic books. And if you need an intro origin story, not an origin, but just an accessible point to jump in on these characters, Astonishing X-Men will do that for you. A lot of people will tell you Claremont, and I do like the Claremont stuff. I've read, probably the big events of the Claremont stuff, but to have a modern take on these characters and just to hop right in and understand the dynamics, go check out Astonishing X-Men. Those are the books that I picked up this month or the last 2 months, and so stay tuned. I have another April haul video coming out, and that one is huge. So that's what I have for you. My name's Cameron. I don't just read comics. I love them. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe. And if you like this, you may want to check out my long-form podcast. That's Cameron Reads Comics, available on Spotify, iTunes, and here on YouTube. So stay tuned and check it out. Have a good one.